This is Cypher Division. Today we are going to be reacting to Steven Crowder. Change my mind. Deport all illegals. So let's see what this is about.
Well, what I mean is if you ask me my opinion, and then I answer and you go, that's interesting, that sounds possessive, or that sounds,
Well,
what term
yes,
you
I
use?
think that to the
That's
ordinary person, identifying your lady as my lady would sound possessive. But
I don't.
maybe that's a
He can't identify. He can't say anyone is his lady because when she was 8 months pregnant, he was allegedly abusing her. So it's just kind of funny.
cultural norm that I'm not accustomed to.
Sure, I'm sure you're not. But is that relevant
What the fuck? I'm sure you're not. What a weird dig, dude. He's so petty. He's such a fucking petty loser.
to the point in the answer?
You're
Because you
very
interrupted.
sassy.
Yeah, he is sassy. He's so fucking sassy, dude. It's because he doesn't have any. It's cause, okay, I've said this before. I think one of my first YouTube videos, okay, um, was reacting to Crowder, okay, where I said that Crowder doesn't really live. I argued that Crowder doesn't live in the same reality that we do. Okay, so it makes sense that he's not able to argue with facts. It's mostly him just being sassy.
interrupted to say that offends me rather than listening. So do you not listen to people who come in and seek your social work the same
No,
way?
I promise I do.
Just
But
not here.
I came here to have a productive conversation.
She's not there to plug her social work. She's there to have a debate with you. Why does she have to have the same level of professionalism when she's not there to do that type of work? That's actually a genuinely weird thing to think about.
And usually when I encounter someone in my field, they're also looking to have a productive conversation.
And he's
But
not.
the way that you throw in
Look,
the little tidbits that are
yeah.
demeaning, the way you
Yeah, Crowder, he's not willing. Why is he showing this clip if it's usually when Crowder starts these videos, he has like a clip and then he like starts over, right? He usually these clips will show how he has the advantage. He's winning the conversation. But right now, she's fairly calling him out like you're not here to have a conversation. You're here to give these little tidbits that are demeaning. You're here to not be charitable. This kind of dunks on him. I don't think he understands how to structure these conversations.
have very circular argument and you throw stats. That's what makes me a little apprehensive to continue speaking with you.
Oklahoma
That's a fair criticism. Why would he include that? I'm actually confused. Why would he include such a damning testimony against him?
University.
Because he doesn't come there to have a charitable conversation. He comes there to sling insults and cherry pick facts and not be charitable.
Home of the Sooners and the location for the latest installment.
Yeah, we're gonna skip ahead. I just want to get to the conversation. I don't give a shit about this intro. Here we go. Let's Oh, okay.
You can face forward, but I got to hold the mic up because we've had people try and run off with the mic too, so I got to hold it.
Okay.
What's your name, by the way?
My name is Savannah.
Savannah, nice to meet you, Savannah. Let me ask you, how familiar are you, if at all, with kind of this installment, this series?
Not at all, actually.
Okay.
I didn't know that you would be here today until I saw the signs around campus. And
Just remember, the last time that I did a reaction to this, his topic was the left is violent, and I disproved everything he fucking said. Okay, the fact of them, even his own cherry picked facts. Okay, I was able to be like, wait a minute here, you're misrepresenting them. It's the left isn't the most violent. The right is statistically more violent than the left. But whatever. Let's be charitable. I'm always charitable. Okay, let's be charitable and say that Steven is this time he's prepared. He hasn't ever been prepared ever. But let's try to be charitable and say that he's prepared this time around. Let's deport all illegals, okay? By the way, ICE isn't doing that. ICE isn't deporting all illegals. ICE is kidnapping like random people, citizens, people who are waiting for their immigration appointments, right? Zip tying children. ICE is not following the letter of the law. They are completely circumventing the Constitution, okay?
then, yeah,
Okay.
I think one of my friends Googled you and found out that you were 38, but that's it.
Oh, okay. Well, at least I got it right because I also say I own a waterfront ocean Dallas waterfront property,
don't
which doesn't
we
even
all
make sense. Yeah, it's not possible. So let me explain to you kind of, just so we're not talking past each other. Let me first tell you kind of what it's not. It's not gotcha, scoring points, dunking, clips.
It totally is though. This whole segment, Change My Mind, is designed for him to dunk and gotcha and score political points. This whole thing is another one of those like, oh, I'm going to a college campus and I'm going to dunk on a woke liberal. You know, Ben Shapiro destroys woke liberals. You know, like that's all this is. This is entirely gotcha. Steven Crowder is not at all a journalist. He's not a real journalist. This is all gotcha.
Which I know we see a lot online. This was actually created about a decade ago to be sort of the anti-cable news, where people can actually have conversations that you don't see in media, where hopefully they're done in good faith, and it's of course used in its entire
If you see me
context.
looking down, I'm looking at my phone. Apparently, there's a Twitch streamer by the name of Jackie. She was streaming and got into a car accident. Like, what an idiot, dude. Like, I'm telling you right now, if you can't stream, if you're driving and you're streaming, just stop. Just give up. Please give up.
We never edit it out of context. So, and obviously, however you want to have the conversation, that's up to you. But I just want you to know where I'm coming from.
Yeah, it's fine.
And the
I'm
topic-
here for a constructive conversation.
Okay.
I don't think that I can change your mind, and I don't think that you can change my mind, although I'd like to see you try it.
That's fair. Well, you're sitting down to change my mind. So,
Look, I'm just gonna say this now. He never wants to change someone's mind. Okay, he never wants to. Okay, like I'm telling you right now. Okay, Crowder doesn't. That's never his goal. He never wants to do that. Okay, he never wants to change someone's mind. Okay, but let's be charitable again. Let's see if he's willing to do that. But I'm telling you, he never does.
but we'll see. Sometimes people are surprised. So today's conversation, yep, wholesale. I support deporting all illegal aliens in this country. Certainly in 2025, I think it's imperative for a multitude of reasons. And if you disagree, you're more than welcome to change my mind, Savannah.
Okay, well, how do you feel about the ways that current deportations are being handled across the country?
Support it.
You support, like,
Of course he does.
the racial profiling and possibly the arrest of U.S. citizens?
So I don't know of a single U.S. citizen who's been deported.
No, I didn't say deported. I said
Hold on a second here. Hold on. By the way, if you don't already get it by now, I'm a liberal, and I guess I'm a liberal. Apparently, I always said I'm not, but I do support trans rights. So, if you have a problem with that, then you can suck my fuck. Okay? If you have a problem with me supporting trans rights, you can suck my absolute dog fuck. Okay? Has ICE arrested any U.S. citizens? Oh, the Poynter Institute for... Okay. That's false! Really? Really? Even DHS statements show that U.S. citizens have been wrongfully detained! What do you mean? He's like, that's not true. No one... What a liar. What a fucking liar, dude. What a fucking
being
liar.
detained because
Sure.
their citizenship is being questioned.
Well, let me ask you this. If someone matches the profile, for example, of a hit and run, and you're detained and questioned, and they find out it's not you, is that a violation of your rights?
No, but the deportations that are happening across the country are going a little more deeper than that. And unfortunately, that seemed to be a very surface level example.
I want you to
Sure.
I want you to see this. Okay, hold on. I was trying to find new clothes today. Anyway, I want you to see this, okay? Okay. News reports and lawsuits show that U.S. citizens have been detained during Operation Midway Blitz, and ProPublica investigation documented 170 cases of U.S. citizens who have been arrested by immigration agents across the country since Trump started his second term. Like, seriously, dude? They just indicted a potential candidate for I think Illinois public office, as they had it on video of them like pushing her to the ground. Okay, that's completely false. Several U.S. citizens in Chicago say they've been arrested by immigration agents. Are you kidding me? Journalists in Chicago sued the Trump, saying federal agents illegally stopped, detained, and arrested hundreds of people, including many U.S. citizens. Wow, so he's a liar. Are we surprised? Are we surprised that Stephen H.W. Crowder, George H.W. Bush, are we surprised that he's a fucking liar, dude? I'm serious, man. Like, I don't get it. And real quick, if you can't tell, I'm looking at a different monitor right now because I'm looking up how to join Kick, because I'm also gonna try to see if I can stream on Kick. He's such a liar.
I understand why you would say that. And if that was the only way we're deporting people, sure, I don't have a problem with it.
Look, I don't know off the top of my head. Are they deporting U.S. citizens? Didn't they deport that one guy because they thought he was a Venezuelan gang member, but he was just like a makeup artist? I'm assuming he was a citizen, maybe. But even so, they're still detaining U.S. citizens.
But it's not. So let me ask you: are you against all of the methods of deporting people right now? Like, how do you think we should do it?
Well, that's actually the question I had for you, considering that you're hosting this
Shit
event.
gets me so
How do you think that
fucking
deportations
mad,
across the
bro.
country should be handled? Because when I think of deportations, I'm thinking of the mass roundups that have been happening, and then the detainment, I forget what it's called, Alligator Alcatraz or something, that was in Florida.
Yeah, alligator Alcatraz.
Yeah, so that's what I think. So I was just wondering how you think that the deportation should be handled.
Yeah, alligator Alcatraz was for some of the worst offenders, violent offenders. Let me ask you this, before we get to that, do you believe that we should deport illegal aliens?
I think it's a very situational occurrence.
Okay.
I find myself disagreeing with the mass deportations that are happening, which is why I wanted to come here today and ask you what your definition of illegal is and who fits that criteria.
Someone who's come to this country illegally. Anyone.
So anyone who doesn't have paperwork.
Yeah, anyone who's in this country illegally, who committed the crime, the misdemeanor of coming to this country illegally, or visa overstays, which make up a percentage that, yeah, I think it's pretty clear. I don't think that that's one of those scenarios where it's gray. You're either a legal citizen or you're not. So I support deporting all illegal aliens at this point. Which ones would you support deporting?
Look, I don't
guess would be my
think
question
it's
to
as
you,
simple.
and then how
But
should
here's
we
what I'll
do
say.
that?
Okay, here's what I'll say. Okay? Mass deportation, like deporting like a bunch of illegals, right? It's not realistic, it's not ethical, and it's not even strategically sound the slightest, okay? Okay? In terms of our economy, it's completely self-sabotaging. In terms of logistics, it's impossible. You can't it's not like you can, go on the streets and find illegals everywhere. It's so hard to do. It's not logistically possible. In terms of our morals as a country, because the United States, right, like we built our entire reputation as the melting pot of the world. Like everybody came here, to Ellis Island to come here and become citizens and try to look for a better life. Okay, it's shallow in terms of morals. Okay, it's a disaster if we just look at the historical trends. Every time someone tries to make it work, it doesn't work. Okay. What we need is smart, targeted enforcement and legal pathways, and maybe like pathways in modernizing our border efforts. Okay, we don't need to just round up illegals. We need to find a way to smartly assimilate them. Targeted enforcement and creating better legal pathways to citizenship. Mass deportations do not work, okay? They don't work and they never have worked, okay? They just don't. They always lead to more chaos and more stress, more wrongful imprisonments, more wrongful detainments, as we've seen with the recent Trump administration.
Well, the
doesn't
question
work.
really comes back to how we go about deporting necessarily. So
Okay.
I think, because ultimately there has to be a solution. There's a solution for everything, especially in politics and things like that.
Sometimes.
I want you to
I
understand.
like to say
I want you to understand because here we are on my channel, right? We're here to learn together, okay? I want you to understand. Oh, what happened to my laptop? Okay, I want you to understand, okay? A mass deportation it's fantasy politics. It doesn't work. Okay, it's economically destructive. It's logistically impossible. It's morally bankrupt, as I said before. Shallow, right? It was shallow morally, and it's destabilizing on a national scale. Okay, we have a country of 330 million people. Okay, you can't deport 11 million of those people without collapsing our labor force, because a lot of our labor here comes from illegals, right? Illegals aren't coming here, as South Park pointed it out. They're not coming here to take our jobs. They took our job. They're coming here to take the labor-intensive, low-paying, unskilled labor jobs, okay? It completely wrecks industry. It shreds our civil liberties, because when you can start targeting 11 million people with, seemingly unlimited funding and unlimited reach, it targets our own civil liberties. It puts people who are, you don't know if they're illegal or not, in jeopardy. When you can target anyone you want, everyone becomes a target. Not just the 11 million that you want to get. It's not logistically possible. When you target anyone you want, everyone becomes a target, okay? Not just the 11 million you're going after. It turns our country, America, the free nation that we know and love, into a police state, all right? What we should do is target criminals, all right? Target those people with a criminal record. That's easy. We can do that. If we have a criminal record on someone, we can target them. Can we fix the legal pathways? Yes, we can make the asylum process more efficient, right? We can make it easier and create a uniformed policy that gets people assimilated and get them turned into citizens right away. Can we modernize the border? Tech, court processing, no buzzwords, no slogan, no fear campaigns. We can really do it with better tech, better courts, better processing. We can hire more judges to process these cases so that there aren't like a few immigration judges. We can make it a little more balanced. Okay, mass deportations just don't work. We need a strategy. We need targeted enforcement. You know, we need better legal pathways. It's common sense, but Republicans don't want to do that. They just honestly they want to make life hard for brown people. They're racist. They're evil. And they don't care about due process. Clearly, they don't care because MAGA won't stop defending Trump and Kristi Noem.
So I would like to say that there would ultimately be a solution here.
Yeah.
So,
But do you mean a solution that you're okay with, or do you mean it? Because sometimes the solution is not a pretty one.
well,
Okay,
I
but
was raised.
the solution isn't mass deportation, you dumb fuck. It's not. The solution is targeted enforcement and fixing our legal process. Okay, that's it. Because when you go after 11 million people, when you try to just do mass deportation, you end up killing our labor market. You collapse the economy. We need a better way. We need a better way to make these people citizens, A. And if they are criminals, then yes, then deport them. I'm okay with deporting criminals. I'm not okay with zip tying children and separating families. Or deporting someone because you think that they're a Venezuelan gang member, and they're not. Because they have tattoos that you think are Venezuelan gang affiliated. Come on!
Raised by Southern people.
Okay.
So we think that, what's it called? You know that you've come to a good conclusion when both parties feel like they're being screwed over.
Yeah, compromise is when no one's happy,
Yes.
something like that. That's how we say it in the Northeast, but same thing, yeah.
Yes.
You're much more polite in the South. I was raised by French Canadians, horrible, horrible people, but same sentiment.
So it's interesting that you say that you were raised by French Canadians. And I mean, does that also. It's interesting to think that you're raised by French Canadians,
Yeah.
yet you still support deporting all illegal.
Why is that interesting?
Because you would think that if you're being raised by someone who isn't from this country, maybe you would have a more open mindset.
Oh, I think I have a very open mindset.
No, he doesn't.
I was born in Detroit.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't have an open mindset. Crowder wants to just deport all brown people, okay? He does. Hell, Matt Walsh, who's very similar to Steven Crowder, literally said on his show recently, and it's in one of my videos, that they should lock down the Super Bowl trap style, like that movie Trap, and deport everyone in attendance because Bad Bunny, a U.S. citizen, is performing. You can't make this shit up. This shit's insane. I'm not creative enough to make up these bonkers things, dude. It's insane.
My dad's American. My mom is French Canadian. She now lives in the States. She's very proud, has gone through the process, loves America, speaks the language, pays taxes, contributes. My woman is Latina.
Don't you think that if his mom or parents did this and they assimilated and they became citizens, don't you think he would argue for more, like for better legal processes and more targeted enforcement and not just blanket mass deportations? Don't you think Crowder would support that since his mom came here legally and speaks the language, pays taxes? Don't you think he would support, a better legal pathway and not just mass deportations? You would think that because his family has experience, he would actually support that. But he doesn't, because he doesn't give a shit about justice or the rule of law. They don't care. They just want to deport Mexicans because Mexicans are evil in their eyes.
Your woman?
My woman, my lady, my missus.
She belongs to you.
Okay, that's a stupid argument. I'm a guy. I say my wife is my woman, and she says I'm her man. Who gives a shit? What a stupid thing. Stop talking to these people, Steven. Talk to me instead. I would never nitpick such a dumb statement like that. Oh, you're a woman? Oh, she's your property? Ah! I'm so sick of these liberals. I'm so tired of them. Oh my God, I'm tired of liberals.
Yeah, she likes, I don't know if you know these Latino women, they love a little bit of possessiveness, but I say it as a term of endearment. She went through the
Yeah, you say like my wife, my man, my woman. My wife tells me all the time. My wife's so funny. She gets so like it's a joke, but she gets like fake jealous of our husky because our husky loves me. Our husky like worships me, okay? And she says, "No." She always tells our husky, "No, bitch, that's my man. I'm his woman, not you." It's just a joke. It's a silly little endearment, right? But what a dumb thing. I'm so sick of these liberals. I'm so sick of these liberals. Ah!
Naturalization process. I fell in love with her when I saw a picture of her with her. She was actually going through the process of a picture for the Statue of Liberty and a MAGA flag that she had.
Don't you think he would support better legal pathways and not just blanket mass deportations? His woman is a product of when the system works, right? His woman is proof that the system can work. So don't you think he would support that? I never understand people like Crowder. I just don't get it. I don't get how he can support like mass deportations and just blanketed rounding people up when his woman is proof that the system can work. I don't get it.
And both of them actually are far more aggressive than I am in deporting illegal aliens because they appreciate the citizenship. They appreciate being a part of this.
I don't understand how you can be a product of that and then be with someone who is a product of when the system actually works and still support mass deportation. I don't understand that. It's just, you know what it is? It's just a lack of, these people aren't educated. Crowder is not educated. These MAGAs, they're not educated. They don't know what they're talking about. They have no idea. They have no concept of what they're actually talking about.
Great country. So I don't really think that that's inconsistent. As a matter of fact, I think it's the rule, not the exception. But going back to the question, who would you deport then? Who would you deem acceptable? What's your term as far as,
easy.
I guess if you disagree
I could shut this shit down in 5 minutes. I could tell Crowder my stance. Boom. Targeted enforcement. If they have a criminal record, you can go after them. Law enforcement has all these surveillance tools and all these resources. You can target specific people, enforce it, arrest them, and deport them. You don't need to do mass deportations, and you don't need to show up to a children's playground or a school or a mall and deport everyone you think looks illegal. Okay? Targeted enforcement is a way better strategy than just mass rounding people up and deporting them. I'm telling you right now, it can work. Because when you do mass deportations and you do just blanketly round everyone up, all it does is severely hurt our labor force. It hurts our economy. Targeted enforcement is the only way to go.
The legal definition of an illegal alien, and then how would we do it?
Unfortunately, you've just asked me like 3 questions.
Okay.
Which one would you like?
Who
me to
should
answer
be
first?
deported?
Criminals. Criminals! That's it!
And how should we do it?
Targeted enforcement! If they have criminal records, do surveillance. If you know that there are areas with heavy gang activity, you can potentially look and say, hey, go after those areas. It's easy. Targeted enforcement is easy.
Let me think. I guess I've never considered who I would deport if I was king of the world. Which people would I get rid of first? I guess.
Criminals.
Well, I mean, if we go way back in
I'm
history,
just like I'm being hyperbolic a little bit right now. Like, you know what I mean? But I'm like so exhausted. I'm so exhausted. Like, I'm just so exhausted for the conservatives. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just so exhausted from these idiots. You know.
because obviously if we don't study history, then we're doomed to repeat it.
Sure.
If we're talking about the colonial era and how, Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue in 1492,
Look,
and all of those
logistically,
things.
if I say it, okay, nothing is easy. Targeted enforcement is logistically complicated, but it's better than mass deportations, okay? What you want is to be able to go after people while still having the public safety in mind and trust. You don't want to erode public trust when you're just deporting people. Mass deportations don't work, but targeted enforcement's better. You could still respect public safety without turning the entire country into a police state, okay? Mass deportation tramps on civil liberties, it destroys our economy, it drains trillions of dollars, and it collapses industries, and it militarizes daily life. You don't want to live in a police state, right? It's just chaos. It's chaos disguised as toughness, okay? Targeted enforcement actually focuses on the legitimate threats instead of tearing society apart. You want to focus. You want precision. You have 11 million allegedly illegals in this country. You want to be precise. You don't want to just erode public trust and tramp on civil liberties and turn our country into a police state, okay? It's better. Mass deportation will always be political cosplay. It's not policy, okay? It's never policy.
My question would be, who can be illegal on stolen land?
Oh, okay. So you're saying that no one is.
I don't like this argument, okay? There have been, decades of laws and boundary changes and, and purchases of land, done by the U.S. government. This is not stolen land anymore. I'm so sick of that argument. You cannot argue against. Look, you cannot argue against like the MAGA mass deportation by saying that it's stolen land. I'm sick of that argument. I'm tired of it. No offense, indigenous peoples. No offense, but that argument is weak. It's not stolen land. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the stolen land argument. Okay, this is the United States of America. It's federal land. This is our country, our government. I'm done with the stolen land bullshit. I'm done. I'm sorry that you guys got conquered, a couple hundred years ago. I'm sorry about that, but I'm so sick of liberals with their stolen land argument. It's horse shit, okay? This is the United States of America. Get used to it, okay? We have real problems to deal with, and you cannot sit there and look, I'm arguing against mass deportation, but I would never be caught dead. I would never be caught dead saying that, oh, how can you deport when it's stolen land? I'm sorry. It's not stolen land anymore. It's the United States of America, and it has been for a couple hundred years, okay? It's time to get used to it.
Legally.
Well, no, I'm not saying that no one's here legally. I'm saying how can people be illegal on land that didn't belong to them in the first place?
So who does the land belong to? And I still do want to get to the point here where you said there's a solution to everything. To do that, you do have to live in the real world, obviously. And right now it's 2025, and you have a disagreement with deportation. You said, well, I don't.
The stolen land argument is stupid. And I swear, man, if you liberals, because I'm a liberal, I'm on your side. If you liberals talk about stolen land, okay? If you talk about stolen land, what you're essentially doing is you're treating all living people as if they have personally committed the sins of centuries past, okay? I didn't steal land from indigenous people, okay? History is brutal. Borders shift, and every nation on earth was built on conquest of someone by someone, okay? That's it. What you do, and when you say, how could you deport when the land is stolen? You're oversimplifying complex history into a moral bludgeon where you ignore the reality that you can't run a modern society by retroactively, adjudicating ancient wars. Okay, it's emotionally charged, it's historically shallow, and it's useless when you're trying to solve real problems. We have history is complex. Okay, borders shift and change. And most people live on land that was built on conquest. So, instead of saying that, how can you deport when there's land is stolen? No, focus on the real problems. Stop oversimplifying history that we can't change. I'm not responsible for stealing land from indigenous people, and most people here are not. Actually, pretty much everyone now is not. Okay, it was old people. They long since are dead. They're not here anymore. We have to focus on the real problems at hand. Okay, no more talking about stolen land. I'm so sorry, indigenous people. I'm sick of it. No more talking about stolen land. It's time to focus on the real problems here. Okay, stop oversimplifying history.
I don't think we can do it. I don't remember your words, wholesale. We need to determine who. So I think it's a fair question to say who should be deported and
the criminals. Please, let me on his show. Let me go to Steven's podcast. I'm begging you, okay? Because it's a simple answer. Targeted enforcement. Targeted enforcement. That way you don't erode the public trust. You don't turn America into a police state. I'm just shocked that these people want to just do mass deportations instead of just doing targeted law enforcement. You guys are the party of law. You guys love cops, right? You guys love federal agents. You guys, the thin blue line. Then just go, then targeted enforcement. It's way better. You don't risk turning America into a police state when you do targeted enforcement, okay?
How would you do it? The solution isn't going to be this is all stolen land and give it back. I don't know.
I agree. It's stupid. This isn't stolen land anymore. You can't just give it back, okay? You're oversimplifying complex history, okay? I'm not responsible for sins of centuries past, okay? I'm not. All right? You can't run a modern society by retroactively adjudicating ancient wars. It's over. It's in the past. All we can do is focus on the real problems now, okay? That's all we can do.
If you've been to a Native American reservation lately, I don't think anyone would like that. And I don't think that's what they're asking for either. But who would you deport?
Oh, what the hell happened?
Who would you deport? And how would you do it? And then we can see where we differ.
Unfortunately, I don't think that anyone should be deported unless maybe.
No. Bullshit. Stop. Stop. Stop her. Somebody put her in jail. No, I'm kidding. Stop her though, okay? Stop her. She's lying. She's oversimplifying. We should deport criminals, okay? Just deport the criminals. It's easy. That's all you have to do. Targeted enforcement is way better than mass deportations. Why would you ever advocate for mass deportations anyway? Why? Why would you ever want that? Targeted enforcement is better because with targeted enforcement, we can actually focus on the problems at hand, okay? We can actually focus on the problems at hand.
Someone's being.
With targeted enforcement, you're not eroding public trust. You're not risking turning the United States into a police state. You're being precise. A problem like this, a problem with immigration, it requires precision. Mass deportation does not work. You don't want to live in a police state. Trust me. Okay? I would rather just targeted enforcement. Just go after the criminals. That's all you have to do.
Extradited back to a country of origin.
Okay.
So saying if someone has committed a crime in maybe the UK or something, maybe they, the people who robbed, what's it called, the Louvre, and they stole all the crowns and tiaras.
Yeah, I know.
Stuff.
I still can't believe that happened. You're like, how do you not catch these people?
It was like an Ocean's 11.
It really was.
But I would say, unfortunately, I don't think that anyone deserves to be reported unless they're being extradited back to their country of origin because they are committing crimes in their country of origin and they are escaping because they don't want to face imprisonment.
What if they're committing crimes here?
I think that
She's an idiot. I don't care where you committed the crime. If you committed crimes like violent like assault or rape or you're robbing people, whatever, if you committed crimes, then you should do the time. You should not be able to live in a free nation. I don't care where you committed the crimes. We should deport criminals, okay? Deport the illegal criminals. That's it. Deport the people that have committed like violent crimes. Okay? If you didn't commit a crime in your country, then I don't think we should deport them. I think we should just go after the criminals. Okay? Like I said, mass deportations don't work. We should if you're here trying to give yourself a better life and you didn't commit a crime, hey, we should get you assimilated here. We should have better legal pathways. Okay? That's it. But if you committed a crime in your country, then yeah, I'm sorry, but you lost that opportunity. I don't think you deserve to be here if you're escaping your country because you committed a crime. Bullshit. I don't believe in that, man. I don't believe in that.
the term that comes to mind is that America is a third world country with a Gucci belt. So if we have enough funding to say maybe deport all of these illegal people, then why don't we have enough money to fix our justice system?
Yeah.
Dumb question. Targeted enforcement. Just deport the criminals. Now, if you're here illegally and you don't have like a criminal record in your own country of origin, if you're not necessarily a criminal, you're here trying to have a better life for yourself, then we should have a better pathway, a better legal process of getting these people, assimilated, getting them naturalized, and getting them here working and paying taxes. But if you have a criminal record, then yes, deport them. It's that simple. It's so simple, guys. It's not hard. It's not hard.
And this is one of the things where people just move the goalposts or present a red herring. I do want to stay on topic. I think we need to fix the justice system as well. But going to this, you see there's a solution for everything. Illegal aliens not only commit crimes, and that's why I brought it up at a much higher rate than native-born citizens. They also cost the taxpayer $150 to $450 billion a year. It is a serious problem, and obviously you know about our debt and our deficit. So how do we deal with this problem? Or it sounds to me like you're saying you wouldn't even deport people who've come here illegally, that's a crime, and are committing...
I wouldn't deport them if they come here. I would deport them if they have a criminal record or they're committing crimes here. Just being here illegally, I want to give these people a chance. We need more people here. We need people to take these laborious jobs that most Americans don't want to do. We have jobs here that require, cheap, unskilled labor. That we have those jobs. I don't think we should necessarily get rid of people just by being here. If you're committing crimes here, though, or you're committing crimes in your own country, then yes, we should deport you. But if you're just here trying to find a better life for yourself, trying to escape persecution, then we should have better pathways to get these people naturalized. It's that simple. It's so simple, guys. It's not hard.
extra crimes while here. You wouldn't deport those people?
No, I don't think I would actually. I think that the prison system here in America is well equipped to maybe handle the reformation of those citizens. But I think that when your only option is
Whoa, doggy, let's slow down. Whoa, daddy, let's slow down. I don't want the prison system to be reforming people, like not like just regular criminal, like not regular illegals. Like I'm confused. No way. No. There has to be a better pathway than just a prison system. Like seriously, I don't understand that at all, dude. That's weird to me.
escape a country. When you're seeking political asylum, it's not necessarily the easiest thing in the entire world to obtain citizenship before you go to the country that you want to be in.
Yeah, but why are they entitled to go to any country they want?
What? Why are they entitled to go wherever they want? Why not? Why not have a chance? Why not have an opportunity to become a citizen and be here, pay taxes, and contribute to a great economy? What do you mean? What? What?
Why is anyone entitled to live in it?
Well, all countries, I don't know if you're aware, like they all have borders and they all have...
Why should America... Why? We're the melting pot! America is quite literally a nation of immigrants. My people came here from Ireland and Italy. Okay? Why should it... Why? Because that's what we are. That's what we're about. That's the point of America. The American dream is quite literally for people to come here and have a better life for themselves. That's literally what our country is all about.
Have laws and becoming a citizen. Mexico is far. Actually, we have one of the most lenient policies out there. In Mexico, you can't even own waterfront property.
Well, yeah, in Mexico, that you can't own guns either, and that's where the cartel has a lot of control.
That's a good point.
What I'm saying
is true. You disarm the citizens, you end up emboldening the worst of society, and a lot of those people, I'm sure you know this, are invigorated and emboldened by the human trafficking that goes on. Mm-hmm. Even people coming here seeking a better life, they have to go through coyotes, and a lot of them don't make it here. There are more slaves on Earth. If we go that route of open borders, there are more slaves on Earth now than ever in human history. Did you know that?
Well, yes, I did.
Yeah, and a big part of them are sex slaves. And they thrive under open borders policies.
Sorry, the sun? It's the sun reflecting off of that car. Sorry, it just like got me.
Which damn car? Mine's cocky SOB over there. I don't know who's driving it, but...
It's okay.
So, yeah, it would be incumbent upon you, because it's not as though there's no net laws if it's $150 to $450 billion a year to the American taxpayer. Make the case to the struggling American right now who's paying taxes out the wazoo, that someone who comes here pays no taxes, shares nothing in common with the culture, language, commits crimes, according to your definition here, should still be allowed to stay and be supported by their tax dollars. Make that case, because...
I'll make that case. It's easy, okay? If they're coming here to have a better life for themselves, we need to get them naturalized, make them a citizen, let them pay taxes, give them a social security number, get them opportunities for jobs, right? Get them connected, okay? We can do that. Now, if they're coming here to commit crimes and do criminal shit, then deport them. But that's why targeted enforcement is way better than mass deportations, okay? Targeted enforcement works. If they're here, give them a chance. Give them a chance to be part of our great nation. If they don't want to, if they want to commit crimes and be losers, then deport them. It's easy. It's simple. This requires precision, not just a knee-jerk reaction.
That actually is, if we're going to come up with a solution, you need to make that case.
I am making that case.
It's very
you
interesting
fucker.
That you've mentioned multiple times about speaking the language.
I am making that case, you shithead. I'm saying if they want to come here and commit crimes, then deport them. But if they want to come here and try to assimilate and be part of our culture, yeah, even if they don't speak the language, they can still learn it. Like seriously, dude. Like, give them a chance. Give them a chance. They're not all criminals because they're brown.
It's almost as if you demean people for not being fluent in English. I'm curious to see are you fluent in the language that your lady spoke?
So I speak French.
Yes.
She speaks Portuguese, Spanish, and English.
Yes.
But she hates it when people are here in this country and don't speak English. And my mom is French, and she hates it when people here don't speak English. Because my mom came here from... Well, it's an irrelevant question. So let's have you...
It's an irrelevant... Oh, he's so not charitable. He's such a loser. It's an irrelevant question? Oh, it's irrelevant. Who are you to determine that? Answer her question, dude.
answer one question, just one.
I have said
So you
that
wouldn't
I
deport criminals. So
No,
let me
I
ask
don't
you
think
this:
that anyone should be
why should the
deported.
American
I would deport criminals. It's called targeted enforcement, and it works, okay? You should deport criminals. Don't just deport everyone, okay? We need public trust. We need to know that we're not living in a police state, okay? If you deport everyone, then people start to get paranoid, and they get scared. And when they're scared and paranoid, they don't act in the best faith.
taxpayer keep footing the bill for current criminals who are also illegal aliens? Those are the people who are affected.
Well, it's almost as if that you're insinuating that illegal citizens do not pay taxes at all, because you can receive employment here in the United States. There's a little checkbox that you have to put on job applications.
I didn't say that, but go ahead with this trail. I never said that none of them pay taxes.
Well, it's interesting the way that you phrase it, because it's almost insinuating that illegal citizens don't pay taxes.
I would say it's
She's pretty smart. She's actually doing a really good job here. I don't agree with everything she's saying. She's a little too liberal for me when she says that we shouldn't deport anyone. I don't think that's true. We should deport criminals, right? Targeted enforcement. I'm telling you right now, this requires precision. We can't just deport everyone. Mass deportations don't work. But she's actually really smart here. She's smart.
interesting the way you interpret
She's
it.
catching him and asking him real questions, and he's not able to answer them because he's a coward.
Because what I said is they
Like
cost
most
the American
conservatives, he's a coward.
taxpayer 150 to 450 billion. Now I could tell you, provide you the reference if you want to take these with you, so you don't have to take my word for it, that there's about a 17. That's including the 17% offset of taxes that are paid from illegal aliens. So even including that number, it's 150 to 450 billion dollars. Whether they all pay taxes or very few of them pay taxes is irrelevant. It's a net cost. There'd be no way of tracking it.
It's irrelevant.
150 to 450 billion. Why should Americans pay for it?
I'm finding that your argument is very circular. So realistically, I'm realizing that there is no way to change your mind unless you are willing to break the cycle that is your circular argument.
Right. So what would break that is about the language that I speak privately with my woman in my house.
Well, I mean, you referenced earlier that I was moving the goalpost. I was whatever. I'm a social work major here at the University of Oklahoma.
Fantastic.
I'm sorry?
I said fantastic. Good. Thank you for the work.
I am just trying to understand where your opinion comes
Oh,
from.
he's so condescending. He's like, fantastic. And, like, it made her do a double take. She's like, wait, what? He's so condescending, dude. I can tell you right now that he has absolutely zero respect for social workers and people like in this public service, okay? He has absolutely zero. By the way, social workers frequently work with children, illegal children, undocumented children. I can tell you he has zero respect for her field. Oh, God, he's such a coward. He's such a loser. Oh, this is hurting me to watch. It genuinely is.
Because that's what we do.
Sure.
Social science is understanding how you can. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
Oh, okay. Social science is understanding how.
You can bat it around like a cat toy. Just don't take it with you.
Yeah, it's very tempting. I should have you sign it on the side. But I apologize. I got derailed there for a second. But social science is based on understanding where your opinion comes from.
Sure.
And it takes a certain amount of intelligence to understand why you believe what you believe.
So why do you think you don't understand it?
Because your argument is very circular.
Okay, explain to me how it's circular.
Yeah.
Because it seems as if you're not willing to. When I said that, it's almost as if that you were insinuating that no one who is an illegal citizen is paying taxes.
Yeah.
You immediately brought up statistics saying, well, there's the 17%.
No, I said because you were mischaracterizing what I said. I never said that. So if you're a social worker, shouldn't you also, let's say someone comes in and needs help. If they say, hey, I have a problem because, I don't know, I'm being recruited for this gang and I'm in a neighborhood, and if I don't, it's going to be dangerous to me. And you go, okay, but what I'm hearing you saying is your entire neighborhood is nothing but a gang. And he goes, no, that's not what I'm saying. I said the net cost to taxpayers is $150 to $450 billion a year. You said, well, you're insinuating or demeaning people for none of them paying. That's not what I said. And then I gave you a follow-up stat to ensure it wasn't circular logic. I'm aware of the 17% offset. So it costs the American taxpayer a lot of money, not to mention sanctuary cities and crimes, which disproportionately affects.
So, I know. I interrupted you there
That's okay,
because
go
you've
ahead.
been interrupting me this whole time. So that's unfortunate. But in the South, we are very polite.
She's falling apart right now. She's falling apart. This is not good. This is not good. I'm so sick of these liberals, these college-age liberals, dude. Like, just let me talk to them. Let me talk to Steven Crowder or any of these people, because I'm really tired of this. I'm so tired of
I was
this.
going to ask. Oh, I forgot, actually.
Well, how is that circular? I corrected what was a straw man. You're social.
sorry?
It's a logical fallacy, a straw man. You built up an argument that I didn't make. And when I said, well, that's not the argument I made, you said it was circular logic. I said, no, I'm just clarifying that's not what I said.
It's interesting.
Is that fair?
Well, I don't know, but it's interesting.
Is it fair to argue against the point or to present a case against the point that I actually made rather than one you've prepared to make a case against? Because I never said that.
Hold on one second. My TV just like turned on by itself, and it's really weird. So hold on. Hold on one second, okay? All right. I don't know how much more I can watch of this because it's like Steven's such a liar. He's such a liar, but she's not arguing in good faith either. So I don't. It's like watching two idiots like having idiot contests. I don't really know. All he does is cherry pick these. He has conversations with people that he knows don't have any logic or any real confidence or courage, and it's just so hard to watch.
Unfortunately, I think I am done.
I think so.
It is very hard to have a productive conversation with you
I can
when
imagine.
you continue to interrupt me and speak.
It's true though. It's true. Look, I'm gonna give her some credit here. It's hard to have a conversation with Steven Crowder when all he does is interrupt or mischaracterize her or accuse her of like logical fallacies. She did a pretty good job here, except with her argument regarding like we shouldn't deport anyone. But for the most part, she did a pretty good job here, trying to like get him to clarify then like his issue with like them coming here and not speaking our language, even though he's with somebody that didn't always speak the language. It's just pretty wild.
Speak over me, and then say that, well, I'm moving the goalpost, and then given no time to maybe have a rebuttal to that.
Take all the time you want.
No, I'm saying I came here with the intention of actually having a productive conversation.
Sure.
I just wanted to know who you were and what you thought, because that's what we do in social work.
Yeah.
We want to understand who you are as a person and what you think about the topic that is most concerning to you.
So then shouldn't you listen when I say what I think of the topic, as opposed to making up something I didn't? Hold on. And then I'll give you the floor.
Actually,
Hold on, and then I'll give you the floor. I know you constantly say it, but we can set a timer and see who's interrupting who. Shouldn't you address the point if you ask me my opinion and I express it and not misrepresent it?
It's just very interesting that whenever I get going on a particular topic, you continue to dominate the conversation. I understand that this is your show and there are cameras who are here for you. I get that. But I wanted to have a productive conversation, and it seems like that you're not actually here for that.
May I speak?
No, thank you. So
you've not
thank
addressed
you.
a single point.
Oh, this is so bad, dude. She just fell apart. She fucking fell apart. Oh my god, this is painful. Why do they do this? Look, I'm telling you right now, if you're gonna go up to talk to him or Ben Shapiro or before Charlie Kirk, before Kirk died, if you're gonna talk to these people right in a public forum, you have to be prepared. You cannot do what she's doing. She completely floundered and she fell apart.
I appreciate you giving
A single
me your
point
time.
that I've asked, not one.
I
You've
wanted
obviously-
to understand who you are as a person.
Okay, well, this will help you understand.
No, you. Not whatever you believe about this, because that's what we do in social work.
I still don't know what it is that you do. Tell me what it is that you do.
In social work.
Yes.
So social work, by definition, we try to work with the person and understand where they are coming from, how they have formed that opinion, and then how we can either agree, disagree, reach commonality. So that's why I was asking you questions about your wife and why you called her your lady and how that was a little possessive. And
What? Oh, this is so. Oh my god. Oh my. I really hate. I hate liberalism. I really just do. I genuinely hate liberals because I'm married. Okay, I'm on the left. Okay, I call my wife my woman, my lady. And she calls me, her man. So I don't understand this weird distinction that it's so, oh God, all they do is it's just virtue signaling. Oh, this fell apart. She did a good job at first, and then she just fell apart.
That's why I got a little offended, because you were interrupting me before I could finish articulating my thought process. I was trying to understand who you are and where you're coming from where you're coming from with this argument. That way we could have a productive conversation. But when you continue to throw stats and you have a very circular argument, it's very hard to understand who you are as a person and achieve a productive conversation. I can have a conversation with you, but I don't have to agree with you.
Of course.
But it seems very disrespectful when you continue dominating the conversation, and I don't get a chance to do what I came here to do.
Okay. May I present a suggestion? When you say listening to people and finding out where they're coming from, perhaps when you ask questions, listening to the answers and taking an interest in the reasoning, the rationale, the logic behind it, and not misrepresenting what they say, that would help. That would serve you better as a social worker. Because I don't think you've listened to a lot.
On that?
Well, what I mean is if you ask me my opinion, and then I answer and you go, that's interesting, that sounds possessive, or that sounds...
Well,
what term
yes,
you
I
use?
think that to the
That's
ordinary person, identifying your lady as my lady would sound possessive.
That's what we do, though. It's not possessive. Oh my God, dude. Jeez. Oh my God. Just walk away. Just get up, please. Don't embarrass yourself anymore. I'm not even a Steven Crowder fan. Trust me. I've done nothing but rail on him in this video. But please, you're embarrassing yourself. Just walk away. Okay, walk away. This is exactly the type of liberalism and woke liberal shit that the conservatives make fun of all the time. Ah!
But
I don't.
Maybe that's a cultural norm that I'm not accustomed to.
Sure, I'm sure you're not. But is that relevant to the point in the answer? Because
You're
you
very
interrupted.
sassy.
You interrupted to say that offends me rather than listening. So do you not listen to people who come in and seek your social work?
I guarantee you she doesn't listen at all. I'm just telling you right now, this is a lost cause right now.
No, I promise I do.
Just
But
not here.
I came here to have a productive conversation, and usually when I encounter someone in my field, they're also looking to have a productive conversation. But the way that you throw in the little tidbits that are demeaning, the way you have very circular argument, and you throw stats, that's what makes me a little apprehensive to continue speaking with you.
I'm just trying to understand. Is the tidbit that was demeaning the phrase "my lady"?
No, it's the little side comments that you sneak in when you're having conversations like this. You're a very sassy
Like
individual.
what? I said "my lady." You said that was offensive. What else?
Well, when I said that maybe that's a cultural norm that I'm not accustomed to, you said, well, I wouldn't expect you to. And then when we were talking about border countries,
He doesn't care about having conversations. He just wants to be sassy, dude. Like, this isn't even real, man. He doesn't care. Crowder, look, Steven Crowder just does not want to have a conversation. He just wants an excuse to be a sassy bitch. And that's it. That's all he wants.
having borders, I said that yes, I understand that countries have borders. And you said, well, I hope you would.
No, that's actually not what I said. We can rewind it.
Uh-oh. This is bad.
Well, all countries, I don't know if you're aware, like they all have borders and they all have laws
Yes,
and becoming a
I'm
citizen.
aware that
Mexico
countries
is
have
far,
borders.
actually, we have one of the most lenient policies out there.
Well, I
think maybe you're interpreting.
Unfortunately.
I think you paraphrase a lot
Interesting. Why do you think that?
because you've done it a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you not care to elaborate further? It seems like you enjoy hearing yourself talk.
Oh my God. Okay, get her out of there. Just get her out. Somebody. I need a liberal friend of hers or someone that's a colleague. Get her out of there. Okay. She's floundering. This is bad. This does not look. I would be so embarrassed. Okay, I'm telling you right now. If this were me, if I was this is terrible. She really fell apart. I think she tried it first, but she fell apart. This is bad. Okay. Can we skip this? Because I can't watch any more of this moron. Let's go to the next one, okay? Because this is fucking embarrassing. All right.
Today, it's deport all illegals. Can't fit it all on a sign. I absolutely think that it's paramount that we deport.
Let me tell you something, okay? I'm not sponsored. I have like no followers on Twitch, by the way, and I have like 9 subscribers on YouTube. So just take this with a grain of salt. I'm drinking this right now. It's a protein soda by this company called Bucked Up. It's pretty good. It's just a little jarring though, because I'm not used to banana pineapple as the flavor, but it's not bad. All right. Anyway, let's just keep going.
All illegal aliens in this country. I think it's a moral imperative, and I think we're at the point too where economically it's definitely an imperative. I support it wholesale. If you disagree, you're more than welcome to change my mind.
I will
interested
always
to see why you
I will always say this, okay? Okay? If you are going to talk to a Crowder type or a Ben Shapiro or Charlie Kirk before he was murdered, if you're going to talk to these people, you have to be ready. You have to be prepared. You have to be ready to have a real conversation because right now, it's easy. I can debunk his thing right now. No. Deport all illegals is bad, okay? We don't need mass deportations that erodes public trust and it's chaos, mass as political, it's chaos masked as politicism, okay? We don't need a military, we don't need a police state. We need targeted enforcement. Go after people with criminal records that are bad actors. Don't go after children or innocent bystanders who are just trying to seek asylum, who are trying to come here and seek a better life, okay? Targeted enforcement is the only way we can successfully do this. Mass deportations do not work, okay? They don't work. Right now, they're doing mass deportation with ICE, and American citizens are getting targeted and detained, or getting hurt and harassed.
think it's important, like economic?
So, a few different reasons.
Economically speaking, if you mass deport people, it'll crush our labor force. It will hurt our economy. It's bad. It's bad news, okay? I'm telling you right now. Mass deportations on an economic scale, okay? It not only does it, like I've said before, not only does it trample our civil liberties, okay, but it also drains trillions of dollars. It collapses industries, and you get to a point where you're militarizing daily life. We don't want that. We're America. This isn't Russia. We don't want to live in a police. I don't want to live in a police state. I don't. Look, my conservative friends out there, please do not get so blinded by your hatred for illegals that you end up giving up your way of life here, okay? Do not give up your American way of life just because you're afraid of illegals. Do not allow them to take away your civil liberties.
The primary one is...
Please, like, I'm begging my conservative friends out there, please do not give up your way of life. Do not give up our fundamental American way of life because you're afraid of illegals. Mass deportations collapses industries and turns us into a police state. It will not work out for us in the long run. It's not working out now. We need targeted enforcement. If we want to keep our way of life as Americans, then do not give up what makes our way of life unique. Please, I'm begging you.
Is that illegal aliens cost the taxpayer in this country anywhere from $150 billion on the low end to $450 billion a year. Taxpayers.
What about how expensive our military budget is? He doesn't care about our $850 billion military budget? Fuck the taxpayer bullshit. He cares about the taxpayer, but he won't support tax hikes on the super wealthy. I'm so sick of conservatives caring about the taxpayer when they can consistently vote for tax breaks for the super wealthy, okay? I'm so sick of that shit. We have a genuine economic crisis right now and a real problem with our nation's budget that we can solve. You know, we can lower the defense budget. We can tax the super wealthy. We can actually have real change here, but they don't want to support that.
Let's split it and call it $350 billion or so.
Hold on.
That's a lot, and there's no reason for it because it's something that could be prevented.
How much?
Are you like insinuating that they don't like pay taxes and that's why they're costing the taxpayer money?
Yeah, most don't. So if you look at the contribution, the offset of the 150 to 450 billion, it includes the 17% or so offset of those who pay taxes. 17% not who pay taxes, but that's about the offset.
I'm curious
costs.
about this.
So they cost far, far more.
So I just looked it up on my phone. Okay, he keeps citing this like this $350 billion or $400 billion like this figure, but I'm not seeing a clear figure. Look, undocumented immigrants, they both pay and cost the system, okay? They pay billions. He's neglecting to mention that they do pay billions every year in sales taxes, property taxes, rent, income, payroll, right? They receive far fewer benefits because they don't qualify for like a lot of health benefits like regular citizens like me do, okay? So they receive far fewer benefits than regular citizens do. And as far as the net impact, it varies. I looked it up, okay? It varies by state. Credible analyses show that it's a modest impact, okay? But it's not this budget-destroying apocalypse that conservatives are railing about that he's like talking about, okay? I'm not as a taxpayer. I'm not bleeding out because of undocumented immigrants, okay? The net cost is small, and it's often offset by the taxes that they pay in anyway. Okay, I'm telling you right now, I don't know where he's getting this $350 figure from, but right now, the fiscal impact is minimal, and it's typically offset by what they pay into our system. And by the way, they're receiving far fewer benefits than citizens anyway. So again, it's easy to debunk him when you just look up the facts on your own. It's so easy. Illegals are not bleeding the taxpayer. Their contributions often offset what it costs to have them here, and they're netting fewer benefits, which means they're not getting all these tax-funded healthcare benefits and these other benefits. They're not getting them because they don't qualify for them. They're not eligible for them because they're not citizens. Okay?
Then they actually benefit.
So I thought like most like immigrants that come here illegally, right? They come here in search
Did
of
you say
like,
legally or illegally?
illegal.
Oh, yeah.
Like they come here in search of better opportunities.
All right, look, we've spent like an hour on this. Let's go to something a little more fun, okay? I don't know how much more of Steven Crowder's bullshit I can handle. So maybe we go to something a little more fun right now. Hold on. Let's do something a little more lighthearted, okay? Destiny is live right now. Really? Oh, okay.
My friend who is so original made the
Oh, he's not live, but this video. Sorry, he is live, I think, or he was live, but this video is not live. Got it. Okay.
My friend who is so original made the 4 millionth joke to me that people have made, where they're like, "Oh, hey, well, if your shit gets like super, you can always just do a why I left the left thing and become a Christian and join the right." And then this topic comes up of like, why is it that the right can take people back or not hold people to this like high standard of behavior, whatever, and the left does it. And then I realized, I don't think I've ever had this revelation before. This never clicked me on stream before, but I realized why, and the answer is really obvious. The answer is because
Okay, hold on.
this guy at my Jubilee debate, he runs a debate league, Incubate Debate, for like high schoolers. And so
Destiny thoroughly kicked his ass, by the way. I remember this guy from the Jubilee debate. He did a really good job against
He
him.
invited me on Saturday to sit, and basically I had 4 prompts and I would debate anybody that wanted to come up and debate. So he hosts like a debate league that kids from different high schools can participate in, and then the winner gets a $10,000 scholarship, which is cute. Although it was like winner take all, which seemed really brutal for the prize pool structure. But the first day I was there, I debated people. I have all the recordings to that. I think I'll be able to upload that, hopefully. And then I have, and so the second day, I was there to judge. I stayed there. I was one of 12 judges, and then I judged all the debaters, which I thought was a lot of fun. And then afterwards,
Cool.
I got to talk to them all for like an hour about like debate stuff, which I thought was cute because it's like you have a bunch of people that are like super motivated and interested in debate and like going back and forth on how to debate and debate strategy. I thought was really interesting. So I write down stuff to talk about. Hold on, what do I have? I do a lot of thinking when I drive, and I had a friend with me back and forth, so I got to talk a lot. Dude, right wingers are this. So this James Fishback guy is like very much like a all-in Trump supporter. But this event and the league that he hosts and everything, it was so wholesome. It was so cute and nice. And all these kids went up, and these guys are like 14 to 18. All of them did a stellar job. They had their arguments prepared. They had to do like live rebuttals.
All right,
They had
I
to
want
do
to skip ahead because I don't really care about this shit.
the right in the United States of America. Okay, there is.
I'm gonna say this right now, okay? People leave the left because the left has been caught routinely virtue signaling and embarrassing themselves and canceling people. A lot of moderates and like center left people just got tired of the identity politics, all the hysteria and the accusations and the false accusations and the chaos that the left has perpetuated, and like when conservatives call the left snowflakes, okay, there's some truth to that. You can't have a conversation with a leftist because if you say the wrong thing, oh, it's a microaggression, it's racism, it's misogyny, it's transphobia. Okay, the left lost a lot of support especially because of their support for trans athletes in women's sports. Okay, I'm telling you, The left has largely been able to organize and then condemn because you didn't believe in every single thing they believe in. But I'm curious what Steven's going to say here.
This thing called politics. Okay, so one thing that I've said is the right is very much politics. The right is very much concerned with politics. So politics is like, in my mind, politics is the acquisition of political power. If you are practicing politics in a democracy, you're trying to get people to vote for your guy, right? You want people to vote for your guy so that you can hold elected office, so that you can enforce whatever policies, you think are right or good or the best for the country, right? And I said that the feeling that I have in the online communities is the left kind of practices something different than politics, where the goal isn't to get people to vote for somebody. They're doing something different. It looks like politics, and they say it's politics, but it's not politics. It's something different. If you want to be really mean about it.
Hey, nobody's home. You don't have to bark. All right, thank you. All I do is just bark at random shit. It's crazy.
Then some people on the right, maybe even Richard Hanania said this. That one guy, I think, who did like the coddling of the American mind might talk about this. But the left is practicing kind of like a social signaling, or it's more like a social, like a group thing, where you signal to people that you're part of like this in-group, and you do it with political issues, but that's all you're concerned about, is kind of like protecting your in-group.
Yes.
And one thing that I noticed, because my friend who is so original made the 4 millionth joke to me that people have made, where they're like, oh, hey, well, if your shit gets like super, you can always just do a why I left the left thing and become a Christian and join the right. Yeah. And then I'm kind of talking about this back and forth. And then this topic comes up of like, why? Like, why? Why are the right so forgiving of everything? Like,
they are. If I wanted to today, I could say, fuck the left. I'm denouncing everything you stand for. I'm going to join the far right and just become a far right grifter. If I did that today, I could easily do that. They would accept me. The right is so forgiving, and I don't understand why. Because the left is not that way at all. You can't just defect and join the left. You really can't. Because they'll dig up old tweets, they'll look at old posts, videos. They will damn you for anything that you've ever said, but the right will forget. They don't care. The right forgave J.D. Vance for calling Trump America's Hitler, okay? They forgave him, and he's the vice president now.
Why is it that the right can take people back or not hold people to this like high standard of behavior, whatever, and the left does it? And then I realized, I don't think I've ever had this revelation before. This never clicked me on stream before. But I realized why, and the answer is really obvious. The answer is because the right is not interested in purity testing. Yeah. I think I was close before to understand this when I said, well, they do purity tests, but they purity test around voting for the candidate. The reason why the right doesn't purity test is because the goal of the right is to practice politics.
The right, let me break that down. The right will purity test, okay? When it comes to supporting a candidate, the right will purity test when it comes to supporting Trump. Like, if you're on the right, to have any real clout or power or any pull or engagement, you have to absolutely unequivocally support Trump. There's no way around that. But when it comes to everything else, they don't care. They don't care. They are interested in practicing politics, organizing, getting their people elected. They don't care about virtue signaling or protecting their group. They want to make sure that, like, it's all about the political game. That's why they're so forgiving.
All the right wants to do, fundamentally, is win elections.
Yes.
The left...
And they realize that when it comes to winning elections, the right has to have the numbers. The left doesn't care about winning elections. The left cares about virtue signaling and having the same viewpoints and being on the same team. They don't care about that. They organize based off identity. The right organizes based off of winning. And that is why conservatives win easily. That's why they won the last election.
Does not want to win elections, or at least the far left or the left online people. Their goal is not to win elections.
Their goal is to win their followers, is to win identity, to win engagement. It's not to win elections.
Their goal is something different. I don't know what it is, but their goal is something different. And I realize now, I think that is the answer to when you're wondering, like, why is the right so accepting of people who are coming from the left? You don't see people doing like why I left the right and why I joined the left, because the left isn't
I'm going to answer it, Stephen, I'm going to answer his question. The goal of the left, okay, it's not to win elections. It's to win like almost like brownie points. Like, it's to win moral points. It's to win support online. It's to win oh, you're just like me. You're so tolerant. You're such a nice person. It's to win like moral brownie points. It's not to win elections. They don't. The left doesn't care about politics. The left doesn't give a fuck about politics. Okay. This is such a great conversation. I wish I could talk to Destiny right now. This is a great I want to tell him what I'm saying. This is such a great conversation. Okay. Beautiful topic. Like, mwah. Great job, Steven. I'm serious. Mwah. Beautiful topic. Okay. I'm serious. The left doesn't care about winning elections. They care about winning points. They care about moral points. They care about moral posturing. It's not about winning. It's not about, strategizing and getting public office and getting political power. It is about it's about moral points. It's about being better. Moral superiority. That's all they care about. That's all I care about.
Accepting of those people. Once a Nazi, always a Nazi, or once if you supported this guy.
The left would, in my opinion, today's left would really hate that guy that was like that black guy that was converting what do you call it? That was converting KKK people. Like the left would hate today me if I was trying to reform neo-Nazis. If I reformed like successfully 10 neo-Nazis to my cause, okay? The left would hate me because in their eyes, once you're a bad guy, once you're a Nazi, you're always that way. You can never change. The difference between me and a leftist when I condemn a Nazi is that I'm like, hey, you can still change. If you condemned and denounced all your Nazi beliefs and you joined my camp, you'd be my best friend. I would respect you forever. Because you can at least recognize when you're wrong. The left doesn't do that. The left purity test. The left will say if you commit a sin, you will always be that sin. You can never reform in the eyes of a leftist. You can never do that. They don't want reformation. They want canceling and they want demonization.
Ever, or you said this 15 years ago, we're never taking it.
Yeah,
why?
Exactly. Whoa, he just said our minds are like connected. He just said that. You said this thing 15 years ago. You're a monster. James Gunn had a tweet, 10 years ago. He's a pedophile. He's a monster. Oh my God, he's evil. I'm telling you right now. The left will never forgive you. If I reformed 100 neo-Nazis, if I somehow turned UFC fighter Jake Shields into the ultimate woke liberal, the left would never forgive him or me. Doesn't matter.
I think I understand now. It's because in their mind, the end goal is some sort of, I don't want to use the word purity because it's overused, but it's some sort of like social group that has to have like a set of beliefs in order for you to belong to it.
Well, I will say it is purity though. It is purity. If you say something 15 years ago that's offensive to a leftist, they'll never forgive you. I will never be forgiven for calling out leftists after Charlie Kirk was murdered. They'll see me as a Nazi. I've been called a Nazi for saying, hey, leftists, maybe we shouldn't be celebrating Charlie Kirk's murder. Maybe it's wrong to do that. But if you make a mistake, the left will never accept you. But the right, 100%. If you denounce what you believe in and you say, fuck it, I'm a Trump supporter, I'm wearing a red MAGA hat, I used to be a liberal, but now I'm not a woke snowflake, oh my God, the right will suck your cock. They'll get on their knees and they'll like worship you. They'll suck you off because at least they realize that to win elections, you have to have the numbers. It's not like when Katie Porter was in that interview. I'm going to show you something. Katie Porter, right? Katie Porter interview. When she's like, I don't need the Trump vote. Fuck you. Really? You don't need Trump's vote. Look at this. Look at this shit. Look at this shit.
Porter to the 40.
Here, ready? Here we go.
President Trump.
Look at this shit.
We've also asked the other candidates, do you think you need any of those 40% of California
Yes, you do.
voters to win? And you're saying, no, you don't.
Yes, you do. You need them. You need the numbers to win elections. You need the numbers to win elections in our beautiful democratic republic. You need the numbers. Yes. Jesus, Lord, Jesus Christ. This house is clean. You need the numbers.
No, I'm saying I'm going to try to win every vote I can. And what I'm saying to you is that...
Well, to those voters. Okay, so you...
I don't want to keep doing this. I'm going to call it.
What a loser.
In that group, and then you reinforce that, and you're like practicing some kind of like basically like a social club.
Yes.
Which isn't necessarily bad. Like
it's not about winning elections. It's about having a social club. It's about you know what the problem I have with leftists is? Leftists are like those kids in high school that weren't cool, right? They weren't at the popular table. They weren't the cheerleader or the captain of the football team. They weren't cool kids. And now leftists have figured out that they can have a lot of power socially if they just do if they just have their own little group and they exclude everyone else that doesn't completely fall in line with their beliefs, they have figured out that they can have their own little popular table. But the problem is, the popular table doesn't necessarily win elections. That's not how you gain political power, by excluding everyone that doesn't agree with you.
You can have clubs and you can have groups and you can have
Yes.
popular groups and
Yes.
in-group, out-group preferences.
Popular! Oh my god! He and I are on the same fucking page right now. Same wavelength.
All that's fine. But when you call it politics, I think that that's really bad.
It's not politics. It's super bad. It's horrible to be a leftist and have this popular group that you're in part of that completely toes the line with everything you believe in, but you can't win elections like that. That's not how American politics works. That's how a cult works. When Destiny said this weeks ago, and I completely agree with him, that MAGA and the far left operate the same way. They have the same playbook, okay? They do. It's almost like a cult. The difference though with MAGA and the left is that MAGA actually wins elections. Okay? What the left will do is they won't accept you into their cult if you don't believe everything they believe. If you don't believe everything MAGA believes in, but you support Donald Trump at least, they'll still accept you. That's how they win elections. They get everyone to side with them. As long as you agree to support their candidate, they don't care what else you believe in. They don't care.
Because they're not doing politics. And so something that I thought was interesting is something I used to complain about a lot is we're playing by two different sets of rules, and that's untenable. We can't have it so that the right is, I don't even want to say in the dirt, in the mud. They're playing a totally different game
Yes, they are.
than what the left plays when it comes to politics. And I'm talking mainstream left people now, like Democrats or whatever, in terms of being willing to break rules. But then I notice online, there's also, in terms of the alternative media spaces, they're also playing a different game. I think the right plays a morally abhorrent and disgusting game when it comes to how they exercise power. I think they do it in an authoritarian manner, and I think there's no place for it in the United States of America. But when it comes to how they exercise their social power, I think that the right actually exercises social power more effectively than the left does.
I've had 2 debates with one of my former residents when I was in college, okay? He's a conservative. I'm not conservative like he is, okay? And we had a very respectful debate. It was very respectful, friendly, and professional. Why? Because the right is so good they're capable of doing that.
Because they exercise it for political ends and not social whatever ends, or not like... I'm trying to use a bunch of negative words, but not for like popularity groups and not for just like empty virtue signaling that's not backed up by electoral consequences. Because I keep going back to thinking, I'm like, imagine if you're on the right and you really think that like the 2020 election was rigged. How are you still going out and voting in 2024? Like these motherfuckers, they think that the whole world is against them, but they still show up at the polls and they still actually...
That is crazy to me because the left acts the same way. The left constantly thinks that they're always oppressed, that the world is out to get them, that there's always microaggressions and injustice and systemic racism, and that the whole world is evil and that we've never ever progressed as a nation. The left believes that, but the left won't actually vote. The right has this cynical view just like they do, but they actually show up to the fucking polls, which is nuts to me. But this is why the right wins, because despite having a cynical and hysterical paranoid worldview, the right still shows up and they participate in the process. It's crazy to me.
They still actually vote. What the fuck? So yeah, that all that to further my idea that I think that we do have to start being, and I already have been, I guess, and I'll continue to be. We need to be really brutal on cutting people out of the left that are not politically oriented in the political sphere. So like if people want to be like activists or like social comment.
Look, I'm going to say this right now before he says it, because I feel like I think Steve and I are on like the same page right now. If you want to be an activist, you want to be a social justice warrior, you want to be woke, whatever, that's perfectly fine. But you have to encourage unity in the Democratic Party. You have to encourage participating in the political process as we have it now. What you cannot do is encourage not voting for Kamala Harris because you think she's a genocidal maniac. Like what you cannot do is be this woke or be such an activist that you discourage the political process. We need to cut them out of the party. These liberals that run the purity tests that completely go against participating in the political system, we need to cut them out. They don't belong in the Democratic Party anymore. I hope he says that.
Commentators or whatever online, like people like Hassan, I guess, then they can do that. That's fine. But we shouldn't confuse those people as being members of or representatives of the Democratic Party And we shouldn't confuse those people as our allies. They're not.
Yeah.
And we shouldn't treat those people like they're politically active. They're not. They're doing
not.
something fundamentally different. And I'm not saying that thing is bad. There's room in a society for everybody. Well, not everybody, but there's room for like a whole bunch of different types of behavior of activists, of social, movements and groups that aren't necessarily maybe like looking at political ends. Like that's fine. That can exist. But we can't mix that up with like a political mission. How do you do that? I don't actually know. The reality is I'm looking for new Factorio mods so I can retire and say fuck all this shit. Because the reality is, and it's depressing, and I don't, and it's also hard because like I have to obviously, I'm being very, it sounds conceited, self-conceited or whatever when I say this, but like you need more people like me who are willing to stand tall on liberal beliefs, but immediately disavow lunatics to the left.
I'm telling you right now, we all have to. Like, this is what my channel is about. This is what I want to do here when I stream or when I'm on YouTube. This is what's important to me. I stand tall on liberal beliefs. Okay, I care about the issues, the liberal issues. I care about legalizing pot. I care about legalizing abortion at a federal level. I care about legalizing gay marriage and supporting trans issues and protecting undocumented people from getting unfairly deported or rounded up or treated poorly. I care about all those issues. However, we also need to stand up to the bad actors, the bad people on the left that do not have those political goals that we have. The ones that just want to be activists and not at all participate in our electoral process, we need to stop them. We need to condemn them and stand up against them. Hassan Piker is not a political streamer. Okay, he is a political propagandist with absolutely no goals or no support for the general mainstream Democratic Party. We have to condemn and stand tall against people like him because he does not have our best interest at heart. He doesn't want to win elections. He wants a purity test.
And I don't know why, but it just seems like nobody is able to do that. Gavin Newsom kind of did with some of the trans stuff, but even he's like kind of a pussy about it. And when he started to get a ton of pushback, it feels like he was like waffling on it a little bit. But you have to have, like Ezra Klein is a good example. That's a guy. You have to have somebody who's willing to come out and say, I disagree with Trump on almost everything, but this like socialist shit is fucking cringe and we need to have...
Yeah, I can... Okay, look, listen to me, okay? Let's just hear me out, okay? We need people to be what he's saying is we need people to be able to stand up against Trump, right? Condemn Trump, condemn the Charlie Kirks of the world, the J.D. Vances, condemn Kash Patel or Dan Bongino, right? All these weirdos, Mike Johnson, condemn these guys, okay? But then at the same time, you have to have the courage to... You have to have the courage to still hold against those weird social issues. You have to have the courage to be like, I do support trans rights, but I don't support trans, women in women's sports. You have to be willing to hold true on certain beliefs that might clash with the left. I think that's what he's trying to say.
Real conversations about real policies that are going to make this country a better place. And nobody seems to be willing to do that. I don't know why. Nobody in the center left is willing to fight to the left ever. It's just so fucking annoying.
They don't want to. Look,
it's so fucking annoying.
Look, he didn't bring up Pete Buttigieg, but Pete Buttigieg had a similar comment about trans women in women's sports, and they fucking they ripped him apart. Okay, they tried to cancel him. Okay, you had all these people wouldn't even vote for Kamala Harris because she supports Israel. I'm telling you right now, they don't care about American issues. They don't care about winning elections. They care about purity testing. And what we have to be able to do as liberals, as leftists, is be able to stand up against them. Okay, you shouldn't get fired or canceled because you maybe made a racist tweet years ago. Who cares? We need to be able to focus on unifying and winning elections, and we won't do that if we're constantly purity testing, if we're constantly infighting, and we're not able to stand up against the psychos on the left. We will never win elections if we let the Hassan Pikers of the world tear our party apart. We'll never do that. We need to get them out of the party and just focus on unifying and holding each other accountable.
But what is their political goal? On the far left, like the online agitator type people, they don't have a political goal because they're not practicing politics.
They're just practicing engagement. It's propaganda. They want to make money. It's not about politics to them. It's about engagement.
They're doing something different. And I think that's why Like for instance, like look at all the people, the Antifa protesters and the Gaza protesters or whatever for the war. Those people were only protesting basically Democrats and Democratic events and everything. And why? And then shitting on Democrats. But like why? Because you know they're not conservatives. But really, in my mind, it's so funny because people will say like, the leftists are doing what I want us to do. That's the funny thing. When I say leftists, I mean socialist communists. I'll say something like, we need to excise these people from our camp. And then sometimes people will say, we can't afford to do that. We can't lose anybody. Like, we need everybody we can get. But then when you look at what they're doing, they're trying to excise us. Like, I think one of the big reasons why leftists, why socialists and ultra progressives, why they protest like Democrats almost exclusively is because people know they're not conservatives, but they want you to know that they're definitely not Democrats. They sure as fuck are not the evil liberals, the Democrats. There's something way different. And that separation, the differentiation is incredibly important to them. And I think that's what drives a lot of the protests and stuff, which again, isn't necessarily bad. It's just a different type of thing. It's not the politics that I think we should be practicing, but because it's not politics, they're doing something different, I think. Yeah. What do you think of even non-political people being absorbed into the right, like XQC, who now call CNN libtard media? Well, again, I think that's just because you literally, besides me, actually, I shouldn't say me. The Bulwark people are good. Scott Galloway is good, and Kara Swisher, Ezra Klein, obviously. I think that these people do a good job, and they're getting more popular, which is good. We need more people like that, I think. Wait, did I watch this on stream or did I watch this personally? Did you guys see the argument for why the best cabinet member is RFK? I will take credit for these people being brave enough to do this, okay? Because I attacked the firefighter. Maybe, maybe not. But like, we need more of this.
You go first. We'll go back. We'll do snake draft. The best cabinet secretary is actually RFK.
I really want to know why he says this.
JBL.
You be quiet and listen.
I'm the best because you can't hear me. Is it because of Curb Your Enthusiasm?
Because these people need to get their consequences.
Okay.
You want to stop vaccinating your kids? You want to start drinking raw milk? I'm sitting back with my MMR and all my old man shingles vaccine. Have at it, Cletus.
Yeah, honestly, that's actually not a bad point. Like, if these people want to support no vaccines and raw milk and all this dumb, pseudoscientific bullshit, then let them feel the consequences. Like, let them not vaccinate their kids, and their kids will get sick and die. And let them drink raw milk, and then they'll get E. coli and salmonella and whatever, and they'll die. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with consequences. If you want to shit on science and make it so that we can't have vaccines and we want to destroy herd immunity, fine. Then do it. Then live with the consequences. I think that's actually a very good argument. RFK is the best cabinet member right now. Because he might actually force these people to live with their consequences.
Okay, I clearly took this exercise far too literally. It didn't occur to me to be like, the one who's gonna kill your children's my favorite, because that's what people deserve.
It's not about deserving, it's about consequences. Like that's just the truth, honestly. It's about if you want to shit on science and make it harder for people to survive, and you want to destroy all of our attempts to eradicate disease, then you should live with those consequences. You deserve that. I don't think that's a bad thing at all.
We just need more people who are brave, okay? We need more brave people.
That was a brave statement that guy made, 100%.
All right. Somebody said the good faith argument is that progressives know they have no chance of influencing conservatives, but have a chance to influence libs and Dems since they're closer politically. No, that's not a good faith argument. because that's not a real argument. That's a bad faith argument because you're making up excuses for a side that doesn't need them. That's a bad faith argument. That's like saying the steel man of Nazi Germany was that Jewish people actually all were secretly trying to destroy the country, and Hitler really had a really strong belief in that. And they did a lot of research, and they really figured that out. That's a bullshit ass. Don't do this thing where you steel man, good faith or whatever stuff that there is. That's not what they think. That's clearly not what they think. And the reason why is this. Let me tell you this, okay? So there are two statements that I'm going to connect. I haven't connected these before, but I got a lot of connections. My brain connected things, okay? So one thing that I've said before is the left will always find a reason not to vote for a candidate, and the right will always find a reason to vote for a candidate, okay?
Yep.
Do you know who says? You want to know a really popular saying in our side of the internet is, I don't want to support the lesser of two evils?
Yes.
You will never,
Yeah.
ever hear a conservative say that.
That's true. Look, I'm telling you right now, the left is like it's like an unhealthy relationship. They will always find a reason to torpedo a good thing or to find, they'll always look for the bad things, okay? But conservatives will always look for a reason to support the candidate. Liberals will always search for the closets, the scandals, the old tweets, whatever. Anything they can do to tear the candidate down. They'll look for it all the time. But conservatives will look for every single reason to support that person. It's why they win. It's why they win.
If they don't like their candidate, I don't want to support the lesser of two evils because they are always voting.
That is okay. I'm telling you right now, they don't want to support the lesser of two evils. Okay, I hate that argument because every election comes down to two people, right? Every election always comes down to that. You have to. You can't just not participate because of this lesser of two evils argument.
For who they think furthers their interests. So no, the idea that the left only mass protests, the far left only mass protests as Democratic candidates because they want what's best for their movement and then they don't vote, bullshit. That's not true and that's not what they're doing. And when you give that charitable interpretation, you are a Nazi. You're just as bad as them and you should feel bad for doing that. That's not what they do. That's not what they do. It's just not what they do. Like, yeah, blue no matter who is literally, the leftists use this to attack you. Like, that's a pejorative on the left. And the right use it to attack us. But on the right, you better believe, what, red or dead? Like, they're always voting their candidate.
Yeah.
I feel like the consequences shit doesn't even matter, though. Look at COVID. It's not like anyone looked at the deaths in America compared to other countries and said, maybe Trump was wrong on lockdown or the I agree with you that these are all problems as well. But I'm always trying to find, like, what is, like, the fundamental problem or what's, like, the, you know, if you fix this thing, other things will start to fall in line. I think this is a big piece of that puzzle because we're spending so much time, like, warding off attacks from the left and the right and figuring out, like, where are we? And the feeling I have, and maybe I'm wrong or I'm not watching the right media or maybe the rest of Democrats don't agree. The feeling I have, though, is that the Democratic Party is still kind of wandering and looking for, like, its identity. It doesn't really know who it is yet, the Democratic Party.
Yeah, they don't know.
And I think the reason why is because the reason why the Democratic Party can't find itself is because they're trying to appeal to multiple groups of people. And one of those large groups of people are people who don't want to practice politics. And I just think that's a huge issue. Like, imagine spending 5 years trying to win the love and support of some guy, and you do everything from you buy him shit and you help him out with projects and you recommend friends and family and you take him out to dinner and bowling, you do all these things. And then imagine, like, 5 years later, you break into this guy's house. You're like, bro, I feel like it's literally 50-50 on whether or not you got my back. What the f is going on? And the guy's like, oh, well, every single morning I flip a coin, and if the coin is heads, then I'm nice to you, and if it's tails, then I don't give a fuck about you. Like, when you'd see that, you'd say, okay, well, what the fuck? Well, fuck you. I don't need this. Why would I even be nice to this? Wait, what the fuck? Right? And I think that that's what the Democrats need to realize for some people. We need to not incorporate into our political movements non-political actors. Mm-hmm. And people like Hassan and these people, these are not political people.
Hassan,
I mean, just look at
Denims, Casey Tron. None of these assholes are political people. They're Frogan, not political. We cannot accept them into our party. The fact of the matter is they don't care about the moderates. They only care about if you believe in what they believe in. The right will always accept the moderate as long as you support their candidate at the end. They will always accept you as long as you support the main candidate that they're pushing for. The left will never do that.
at them. Like, look, where are their passions? What political project has Hassan ever taken part in?
Never.
Or any of
Nothing.
these like far lefty types?
Nothing.
Jesus Christ. What Emma Vigeland or whatever, when we were at that event where it was me, her, and Vosh, and Emma is sitting up there on some panel we're on, and she's like, oh, well, I'm just an online commentator. Like, you know, I don't even know if anybody would even listen to me anyway, LOL. I'm like, why the fuck? What are you doing up here?
Yeah.
Like, that was such a mind moment for
what a weird comment. If you're at a political event panel, you're a political person. Why say that? Why just admit that I don't know if anyone will listen to me anyway? But your whole space is politics and political commentary. So again, we need to not we cannot accept these people anymore. We cannot accept these bad actors who are not politically driven into politics. They cannot be accepted because they will not help us win elections.
for me, because I'm like, oh wait, what are we doing? I thought we were kind of doing politics a little bit. No, isn't that like the whole point of what we are doing?
The problem with Emma Vigeland is that she'll say shit like that, and then she'll expect you to agree and to not criticize her for her politics. That's how they get away from being held accountable. That's how they get away from having any criticism against them. Oh, well, I'm not. People wouldn't listen to me. I'm not political. I don't know why anyone would want to listen to me. But you're in a political space. We got to get these people out of our party. Just fucking expel them from our camp because they don't have the same political goals that we do.
Destiny, the only way to win is to claim and rebrand centrism. So you are not part of progressivism whilst being able to condemn the right. No, but I don't want to. No, fuck centrism. Just be a Democrat. Be on the left. Is it possible that people genuinely think they have political chances with their insane far-left candidates? Like the people advocating for the socialist guy for the New York State mayoral race seem to legitimately think they can get him elected, for example. Maybe people might think that, and that's fine. I think that primaries are a good place to fight for your radical candidates. But if your radical candidate doesn't win, well, then you vote for the next one. You vote for the Democrat. That's what you should do.
But they don't do that. Look, if their radical candidate doesn't win, they won't support the next Democrat in line. They won't do that. They just won't.
But if their radical candidate loses, I think they just lose interest and they drop out completely.
Yep, 100%. That's exactly my problem with a lot of the left. Is that when their radical candidate loses and they don't get what they want, they completely disengage and they give up, which is why we lose.
Do you think it's more likely that Dems kick out the far lefties and the country corrects course, or does the left fall into populism like the right did, disregard the Constitution, and we descend into civil war? The problem is the far left would never do civil war either because they don't care about shit like that. They just want to like post on social media and stuff. Yeah. It sounds like I'm being facetious, but I'm really not. That is truly their goal. It's a social movement and like a social group, and they get.
It's all about it's a social movement. It's a social group. It's popularity. It's clicks on social media. It's views on Twitch. They don't care about genuine political movements. They just care about their social club that they can virtue signal from and make money on. That's all it matters to them, which is why we need to expel them.
Clout, and they get friends, and they get like activities, and it's all.
Yeah, you go to Twitch streaming events, and you hang out with Hassan, and you hang out with Cutie Cinderella, and you get political points with all the streamers, and you get engagement and money and brand deals, but you don't actually win anything politically. You just get a social boost. That's all they care about. It's a game to them. It's a club. It's a club that you're not part of, and it's a club that will not win elections.
All in the furtherance of that. The far left is populist, sure, and the far right is populist, but the far right is populist and they're concerned with electoralism. Yes. And the far left, I mean, explicitly aren't. They literally say they don't believe in electoralism. Yep. They literally say like, the elections don't matter.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, they want to. They don't care. They don't care about elections. The right will organize and they'll do all that shit in the service of winning elections. The left will never do that.
Do you think the rise of Bernie in 2016 brought all these lefties out of the woodwork, thinking they legitimately can win elections with even more extreme left candidates? Maybe. I don't like to confuse that too much, though, with the thing that exists today. Because, like, Bernie, for all of his faults, did come out of nowhere. And he had a respectable, he wasn't going to beat Hillary, but he had a respectable performance against Hillary. And Bernie was a real candidate, even in 2020, even though he never really crossed that, like, 1/3 threshold. He was still a real candidate. But the stuff that exists today online is just, it's way, 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 way different. It's not good. It's not good. Did you see Hassan attacking Palestinian activists who went on H3? This is a new low for this clown. I have not yet. We might watch that today, though. The last thing that I wrote down, I really was just going crazy. This is just like a reminder, don't take the right seriously on anything, and don't ever let them morally police you on anything. Remember, the right is doing politics. Their goal is to attack you no matter what. They have no values. Dude, reading the Elon Musk article and everything, like, I'm just trying to imagine, you know how much these guys came down on fucking Hunter Biden supposedly for smoking crack? Or not supposedly, he was a crackhead. But like they come down on this guy so hard for it. Meanwhile, like, all of the Elon Musk drug shit, they literally are absolutely fucking silent on. They don't have a single thing in the fucking world to say. Also, remember, in case you guys forgot, Hunter Biden was not part of the government. He wasn't an elected official. He had literally nothing to fucking do with any of that. So, listen, I agree with respect to internet people, but empirically, the far left are constantly voting Dem more than like any other demo. They are annoying on Twitter and poison discourse, but they vote for the Dem. Bernie voters voted Hillary more than Hillary voters voted Obama after the 2000.
You know what's crazy, man? They're like, everyone's... Hold on a second here. Hold on. Everyone's like shitting on Sydney Sweeney right now. Because her last few movies were not box office successes. But let me look up... I'm curious what the Rotten Tomato ratings are for her last two films. Christie, Americana, and Eden. So let's see. Okay, Americana got 65%, which is certified fresh, and a 77 audience score. What did Christie do? Christie got a 67%, so successful. Okay, cool. Eden. What did Eden get? Eden did okay. 57%, but a 73% for the audience score is not bad. Everyone's shitting on Sydney Sweeney, but they're just mad because they're just mad, dude. It's just such a stupid thing. She might win an Oscar for Christie though, because it's gotten great reviews. You can't see what I'm looking at right now. Sorry. She might win an Oscar for this though, like for this film. I mean, it's gotten great reviews. I heard it's really fucking good, and I don't usually I don't usually like movies like this, by the way. I don't usually like movies that are like true story, like sports biopics, but I heard it's getting great reviews, so I mean, whatever. It's not my fault people don't want to see movies like this. They just don't. They don't care. And Americana got good. It's got Halsey in it, dude. Like, what the? How could you hate on that movie when Halsey's in it? What the fuck, dude? She's a great actress though. Like, they're just mad. They're mad at Sydney because she's a good-looking girl. That's it. If you're mad at Sydney Sweeney, chances are you're an ugly girl. You're ugly and you're fat, or you're a guy and you're trying to simp for feminists. This is why I don't respect the left at all, because the left, all they do is purity test. Sydney Sweeney had an ad where she felt beautiful as a white woman. All of a sudden, it's Nazi and white supremacy. Get the fuck out of here. What about all the ads that show women of color? You're telling me that's going to be supremacy for women of color? No, it's not. I don't care if they feel beautiful. Every woman can feel beautiful if she wants to. But the left doesn't believe in that. The left purity tests. Okay? They only care about social issues. They don't care about winning elections. They will cut you out the moment you support someone like Sydney Sweeney. I'm telling you right now, they're all symptoms of a much larger problem.
So when I talk about the far left, we remember in our minds, we have to disconnect what's going on online with like real world voters. Yeah. Most of the people, my guess is 80% of people that voted for Bernie Sanders, I'm pulling this number out my ass, 50 to 80%, I'll leave myself whatever, are not like the crazy far left people. No. They're not the crazy far left. They're probably people that heard Bernie Sanders stuff. Remember, most people are not that politically plugged in. They probably heard Bernie Sanders speak like, oh, free education, that sounds sick, and social health care, yeah, we should have that. And they're like, oh, fuck it, vote for Bernie. They're not like, we need a restructuring of the capitalist framework because the bourgeois has been taking advantage of the proletariat for too long and all of capitalism has to fall, and blah, 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 right? Like,
yeah, that's
they're not the average Bernie voter was not like that. Even if it might seem that way because what was online, I don't believe the average Bernie voter was like that. Dude, I can't believe... I also got obsessed with this fucking clip. It's just... I'm sorry. I'm only going to play this for 2 seconds, and then we're done. It's crazy to me that... This is just so crazy to me. It's crazy to me because I feel like this is the perfect... this is like the perfect encapsulation of everything that is wrong and evil with this side of the aisle. Not these two. Although these two definitely have their problems. So it's the fact that Tim Pool knows everything that's going on in Ukraine, because remember, we saw his Reddit account. Like, he literally was doing AMAs when he used to be an independent journalist, a real small-time independent journalist on the ground. Like, he knows everything that was going on, and he's got like decent answers to everything. He knows why Yanukovych was ousted. He knows that like this has popular support from the people. Does it seem as if the general population is in support of the protesting, or is more of a group of people going rogue to the disgust of the populace? The media coverage is rather sparse in the USA. What's happening? To me, yes, there were 400 to 500,000 people here in Kyiv on Sunday. Also, even back then, like, he knew more about Ukraine way more than I did. I don't even know what the I was doing 12 years ago. I was probably playing StarCraft. December 10th.
Hold on. I do want to talk about this, though, because I'm going to pivot for a second. Fuck Tim Pool. He's an idiot, okay? I want to talk about movies, though, for a second. Like, I want to pivot on movies, okay? These people just aren't seeing movies anymore. Not as much as they used to, okay? Superman, Fantastic Four both made a lot of money, but they were considered box office failures because they didn't make as much as they should have, okay? But they were still great films, okay? She can release Christie, Americana, Eden, all respectable films in there. She might get Oscar buzz for this Christie movie, okay? Again, people aren't watching movies. They're not going out that much anymore. They're streaming. They're pirating things. It's a different environment nowadays. So to sit there and say that, Sydney Sweeney's career is over, she's a failure. I don't think she's a failure. She's gonna get Oscar buzz for this Christie film. I'm telling you right now, she's the talk of the town right now. Every legitimate movie reviewer right now is looking at her performance in Christie and going, unreal. Oscar worthy. She's a legendary actress right now. She's doing great. I'm telling you right now. Let's look at some of these reviews here. Okay, 98%, by the way, for the audience. Well, impressive. Let's look at some of these. Oh, I don't have the reviews. Let me show you. Sorry. Christie may not be the boxing movie Force Channels will affect, which is its value. It presents Christy Martin as an individual, not just a impressive athlete. It's not like Creed, okay? It's going to be more of a tragic story. Who find herself in a situation many have fallen into with or without fighting skills. Dark turns, Christy never say die, resolve, and Sweeney's immersive portrayal that make Christy go to the distance. I'm telling you right now, filmmaker David Mitchell finds some edge in the story, but maintains a relentlessly inspiring tone, even when it takes unexpected and dark turns, as well as intensely moving ones, and Sydney Sweeney gives a knockout performance. Sydney's riveting transformation to a trailblazing boxer helps the film over the rough spots. For a movie that covers such a bleak and disturbing areas, it doesn't take enough chances. It felt more like a book report. Okay, whatever. It still gave a good review, though. For a movie that... Sydney Sweeney managing to look like a competent boxer is a notch above even the most tried and true pattern of Hollywood beauties, going butch for artistic relevance. The movie itself, it doesn't reinvent the biopic, but it finds purity in playing it straight. Christy could and should have been a knockout... if it left boxing and queer stories truly weaved together, what we're left with is a vision emotionally filmable. I think they still gave it a good review. Then it was a completely standard sports fight, yet its combination of elements is unique amongst the throngs of competitors, just like Christy has a box. Okay, cool. So I'm telling you right now, just to pivot, we're talking about the Destiny stuff for a bit, but I wanted to talk about movies for a second. She's going to do great. She's already doing great in her career. She's the #1 billed actress in the world right now. Everybody wants a piece of her. Everybody wants her in their movies. She's killing it, okay? Okay, I'm telling you right now. Most women would do a movie like Madam Web and their career would die. And her career right now is thriving. Okay? It's thriving. Let's look at Americana. Americana. Okay? Let's look at Americana. Okay? Let's just do this, okay? I just saw Halsey last night, so I'm a huge fan of Halsey, by the way. I saw her live and in concert, okay? Americana, 65 reviews. It's a 65% tomato meter. That's pretty good. So sprawling, chase movie ensues with an eclectic cast and internet-connected storylines balancing impeccably. Halsey seals the show, and Tony toasts decent Coen and Tarantino-style neo-western. Tony toasts Americana feels like an old friend standing in front of an open Coleman cooler in summer and simply asking us beer. Hell yeah, Tony, I'll take a beer. Awesome, dude. Awesome. Awesome. So I'm just telling you right now, she's a great actress. Everyone's mad because they're ugly and they can't compare, or they're a male simp on the left that wants to get with a leftist feminist, okay? The fact of the matter is, Sydney Sweeney's awesome. And there's nothing wrong with a white woman feeling beautiful. There were plenty of Nike ads featuring women of color, and I never had a problem with that. But this hate against Sydney Sweeney is absolutely and utterly ridiculous. It's more purity testing from the far left, and I'm honestly quite sick of it. It's just so pathetic. All the far left does is just purity test and like hate on their own people. It's just really pathetic. Okay then. Oscar Isaac is shooting himself in the foot. I would never ever do this as an actor. I would never ever do this. This is pathetic. But he's shooting himself in the foot. They don't care. Again, this is an example of what Destiny was talking about. It's not about politics. It's not about winning political points. It's about a social movement. It's about being a part of a group and a clique and a club. Oscar Isaac says he's not currently open to working with Disney. If they can kind of figure it out, not succumb to fascism, that'd be great. This is exactly why the left loses the elections. It's purity testing. It's a social club. It's not. Wow, we're back on the Destiny stuff now. It's not about winning. Or it's about having a social club that you're part of that no one else can be part of because you're not pure enough for them. So stupid. I'm excited to see this movie. Actually, she's amazing. What else is on this stupid shit here? Ooh, okay. I can't wait. This is gonna be amazing. Undisclosed gambling ad. It was a stake ad or duel. Oh my god. Yeah, it's against X rules and federal laws for these gambling ads, man. Crazy. Anyway, look, I think we've covered enough today. I've done enough talking about, all this crazy stuff. The fact of the matter is people leave the left, okay? Because of purity testing and this social club, and it's not about politics for them. It's about engagement. It's about having a friend group. It's about believing in the same things as everyone else believes in. It's not about having courage. They don't stand up against people that they disagree with. It's all about having this group that no one else can be part of, okay? The right will continue to win elections because they don't care about the purity testing. They don't care about the social group. All they care about is if you endorse the candidate that they believe in, they'll forgive you on everything else. The left will never forgive you. You make a mistake and the left will burn you forever. Make a mistake on the right and they'll take you in as long as you support their candidate. That's all you have to do. Anyway, I'm Scott. Thank you so much for watching today. We did a lot today in this stream. Join me tomorrow. I think I'll probably do this again tomorrow. Like, share, subscribe. Follow me on YouTube. Also, follow me on Twitch. Do you want to just... Oh, hold on. Somebody just... Do you want to destroy the Matrix, Neo? What the fuck? Okay, now, dude. There is no Matrix. Yikes. This is so stupid. It's always people who are, like, on the far right who think that they know what the Matrix is about. There is no Matrix, dude. It is not that serious, bro. Anyway, I'm going to sign off now because... Wild that I've been on it for almost 2 hours and I'm just now getting a comment, but... no, I don't want to destroy the Matrix. There is no Matrix. When Andrew Tate says, do you want to destroy the Matrix? He's quite literally a human trafficker. He's part of the Matrix, okay? Right? Come on. You want to know something? Trump, ICE, Kristi Noem, they are the Matrix, right? Supporting them is being part of the Matrix. All right? Supporting... Oh, whatever. Okay, whatever. I don't know. I don't know things. I don't know jokes and things. I'm just a robot. Whatever. Well, thanks for stopping by. It is a good movie, though. It's one of my favorite movies, actually. It's a fucking fantastic film. I absolutely love it. I absolutely adore The Matrix. It's such a great movie. So thanks for stopping by. Yikes. I just totally shit on this person for no reason. I'm so sorry. I'm so used to interacting with people who are so like ridiculous and uncharitable on Twitter that my brain has started to rot. My brain is rotting from all the toxic shit I've been exposed to. I am suffering from I'm suffering from brain rot. Let's suffer from brain rot together, okay? Hold on 1 second, okay? Let's suffer from brain rot, okay? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yes. Let's suffer from brain. Let's watch Spider-Man. Spider-Man brain rot. Brain rot. Let's watch Spider-Man brain rot together, okay? This is my favorite.
Harry tells me you're quite the science whiz. You know, I'm something of a scientist myself.
I binged all your nano stuff. That shit is bussing. No cap.
What?
Oh my god. This is my favorite, dude. He's wearing a Fortnite snapback. You gotta be shitting me, dude. Nice. Whoa. Based! He playing Subway. He doesn't give a fuck about MJ, dude. Based.
You're changing. I know. I went through
Oh,
exactly
boy.
the same thing at your age.
Okay, Boomer.
Okay, Boomer. Yeah, Uncle Ben. Okay, Boomer. Fuck you, Uncle Ben. You boomer ass bitch.
Just be careful who you change into.
Hell, no way I'm turning into some low-key criminal.
Yeah.
Stop sweating me, okay?
Stop
My
sweating
vibes
me.
are different, but I got this. Lexi stuff is so last year. Cringe.
Cringe. Yeah. Okay, Boomer.
Right.
You're an amazing creature, Skybity Man.
Yeah, Skybity, man. The AI voice couldn't even say skibbity. It's Skybity, man. I love it, dude.
You and I are not
Hold on,
so
bro. Hold on,
different.
hold on.
What the bro's yapping about? I'm Sigma. You look hella Ohio.
Yeah, Ohio.
Brain rot or something?
Yeah, he definitely has brain rot. The destruction of monism, the apocalypse, free the world from the old monotheistic dogmas and the dogmas of the reactionaries and call them monotheists. Anti-monotheists, my bad. There is a way out of Flatland. Who's the rabbit hole? Did Alice Liddell fall? Okay, dude. I don't know what you're saying, but I'm just chilling right here, okay? I'm chilling like a villain, suffering from brain rot skibbity.
Why, Peter, you're bleeding.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah, I literally walked off the curb and got yeeted by a bike messenger because I forgot how sidewalks work.
He got yeeted! Yeah, Spider-Man, with his powers, couldn't come up with a better excuse. A bike messenger? He's like, come on, bro. Come on.
Let me see. Oh, my goodness.
How did you say that happened?
He got yeeted!
Bike messenger. Yeeted me.
I love it, dude. I love it. A bike messenger, a bike messenger yeeted me. There is an underground culture being led by a Greek called. Yeah, okay, dude. Hey, man. No cap, but I don't know all about all that. Okay. He yeeted him. All right, what's this one?
Everywhere I go, I see his face.
Oh!
What the f is this shit?
Sitting there.
Bro,
oh my God.
You can't riz up a gat with no riz.
The last time I tried your Riz, I ended up with a 10-inch sausage in my back door. So this time I'll just be myself.
Whoa.
Bro, you're yapping like a boomer. I bet you skibidi $1,000 that you're...
Uh-oh.
I thought he was gonna break the bed with all that weight. So good to meet another non-brain rotted person. I'm here to talk about the anti-brain rot initiative.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I used to know everything. Then I come back 5 years later, and now I know nothing. What is skibidi? What is Riz?
What is skibbity and what is Riz? Dude, I love Spider-Man brain rot, bro. Hold on, Captain America, but it's brain rot.
Steve Poggers.
Poggers! Oh! No!
What's your aura?
What's your aura?
42069.
420, 69, no cap, skibbity Riz, Giat.
No cap. Yeah, right. Who's the baddest Giat you rizzed up lately?
Who's the baddest Giat?
Your mom. It was actually...
Oh!
Boy, who's your father? Andrew Tate. Taught me that the best thing in a woman is my dick.
Oh, no shit. I know, okay, I was not expecting that. The best thing in a woman is my... That actually sounds like real. By the way, that sounds like something I could hear from people. Like, the best thing in a woman is my dick. Oh! I want you to say that. I want you to say that when you ask a woman out, okay? I want you to be like, yo, the best thing in a woman, and she'll be like, oh, he's going to say something really sweet. He's going to say something really nice. The best thing in a woman is my dick. Ooh! Oh, savage, dude.
Blood. Andrew Tate isn't born yet, and my mother is dead.
Oh,
Just
shit.
Give me a chance, bro.
Yeah, give me a chance, bro.
Bozo, you may be capping me, but you won't be capping America.
Oh, he won't be capping. Beta. Ooh, he's a beta male. Ooh. He's got no Riz and no bitches. I'm here to talk about the anti-brain rot. Hell yeah. Anti-brain rot. No anti-brain rot. Okay, I gotta, okay. No more skibbity Riz in this Giat today, okay? I gotta sign off. No cap. All right, I'll see you guys later. Follow me on YouTube. Subscribe on YouTube. Follow me on Twitter or X. Follow me on Twitch, please. I want to keep streaming. This is so much fun. I'll see you guys later. I gotta go now, okay? For real. Oh, Embrace Primalism. I love you, bro. Thank you so much for following me, bro. I'll see you guys. I'll probably see you tomorrow around the same time. You know, around 11 o'clock or 12 maybe. All right. See you guys later. Peace out. No cap. Bussin'.